How a Russian oligarch's yacht pulled Antigua's prime minister into a U.S. legal firestorm. In the crystal blue waters of the Caribbean, a political scandal is quietly exploding. A superyacht once owned by a Russian oligarch. A $40 million deal shrouded in controversy. And now, a U.S. federal investigation with the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda caught in the middle. This is not just a story about luxury and wealth. It's a story about power, sovereignty, and how even a small island nation can find itself entangled in the biggest geopolitical battles of our time. Today, we unravel how Gaston Browne, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, was pulled headfirst into an international legal firestorm over the Alfa Nero yacht. Was this a simple move to protect Antigua's economy? Or a reckless decision that could cost Browne his political future? Let's dive into the full story. The Alfa Nero was not just any yacht. Stretching nearly 270 feet long, it was a floating symbol of unimaginable wealth, complete with a helipad that transforms into a swimming pool and an interior dripping in opulence. Built for the Russian billionaire Andrey Guryev, the Alfa Nero became an unintended casualty of Western sanctions after Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. As the pressure mounted against Kremlin-linked oligarchs, assets like the Alfa Nero were abandoned, hidden, or seized around the world. Antigua, known for its picturesque harbors, suddenly found itself hosting one of the most valuable stranded vessels on the planet. For months, the Alfa Nero sat lifeless in Antigua's Falmouth harbor. The unpaid crew left. Maintenance costs ballooned. The yacht, once a symbol of power, began decaying in the Caribbean heat. It was a ticking financial and diplomatic time bomb. The presence of the Alfa Nero placed Antigua and Barbuda in a dangerous spotlight, and it forced Gaston Browne's government to make a decision: take action or risk becoming a safe haven for sanctioned Russian assets. That decision would soon trigger events far beyond what anyone could imagine. Facing mounting public pressure and skyrocketing costs to maintain the abandoned yacht, Prime Minister Browne's administration decided to intervene. In 2023, Antigua formally seized the Alfa Nero under newly passed laws designed to deal with abandoned property linked to sanctioned individuals. Shortly after, the government auctioned the vessel for approximately $40 million, a move framed as a pragmatic solution to an expensive and diplomatically sensitive problem. On the surface, it appeared to be a strong and decisive action by a small nation protecting itself. But almost immediately, controversy exploded. Yulia Guryev, daughter of sanctioned oligarch Andrey Guryev, stepped forward claiming rightful ownership of the Alfa Nero. She accused Antigua's government of selling off her property without proper legal process. Lawsuits were filed, and soon, American courts got involved. Now, subpoenas have been issued to Browne and senior Antiguan officials, demanding access to financial records, communications, and decisions surrounding the sale. What was once a local Caribbean issue had become an international legal battle involving millions of dollars and accusations of wrongdoing at the highest levels. The U.S. subpoenas are not minor. They demand deep scrutiny into the financial dealings and internal decisions of the Antiguan government regarding the Alfa Nero. Investigators want to know if the sale violated any international laws, or if it was part of a broader pattern of mishandling sanctioned assets. If wrongdoing is found, it could not only implicate individual officials, but damage Antigua and Barbuda's reputation as a reliable partner in global finance and diplomacy. For a small island nation, the stakes could not be higher. Gaston Browne has fiercely pushed back against the investigation. He insists that Antigua acted well within its sovereign rights and followed all legal procedures. He argues that the U.S. investigation is politically motivated and threatens the independence of smaller nations like Antigua. Browne has even suggested that outside forces are trying to destabilize his government, simply because Antigua refuses to bow to larger powers. However, critics argue that even if the government acted in good faith, the optics of selling a yacht tied to Russian oligarchs without airtight legal cover were always going to invite scrutiny. As the investigation continues, Gaston Browne faces one of the biggest political challenges of his career. If the U.S. legal system finds any hint of impropriety, it could lead to strained diplomatic ties, financial sanctions, and a major blow to Antigua's standing on the international stage. At the same time, Browne's supporters see this entire ordeal as a David versus Goliath battle, a small Caribbean nation fighting against the heavy hand of American power. Either way, the fallout will be felt far beyond the shores of Antigua and Barbuda. So, what's really at stake here? Is Gaston Browne a leader caught up in a global witch hunt? Or did he gamble Antigua's future for a quick financial win? Only time and a US court will tell. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video for more deep dives into the untold stories shaping our world.